How to protect your income from high and rising taxes, brought to you by SC FSIC. Aloha and welcome to this mini webinar on how to protect your income from high and rising taxes.
What do you think? Are taxes going to be higher in the future?
Well, take a look at the historical data. Can you believe this? From 1945 to 1966, the federal income tax rate was as high as 90+% for the highest tax bracket. In the 1970s, the federal income tax rate was as high as 71% of gross earnings. Believe it or not, currently, federal income tax is near the lowest it's been in over 40 years. The highest tax bracket is now at just 40%. The federal debt is over $24 trillion, by far the highest it's ever been, even when factoring in inflation. And the debt is growing at record rates. 2020 has seen some truly devastating unemployment. Just how do you imagine the government is going to recover or attempt to recover from all this debt? Well, what do they always do?
Raise taxes.
How will higher taxes affect your retirement? Can you protect your income from higher taxes?
When do you plan to retire? In 20 years? 10 years? 5 years?
Many people expect that when they retire, they'll be in a lower tax bracket than what they are currently. But is that the case? It hasn't proved to be the case for millions who have retired in the last 20 years. And even if you do achieve a lower tax bracket in retirement, the tax rate is likely going to be considerably higher than what it is now.
We know that the current tax law is in effect until the end of 2025, at which point it will sunset, which means on January 1st, 2026, taxes will go up to the rates in effect prior to 2017.
Now, across most tax brackets, the difference between the current rates and the future rates on January 1, 2026 is between 9.7% and upwards of 25%. In other words, there is an opportunity right now through proactive tax planning to reduce your taxes between 9.7% and 25%. And this data is from a Forbes magazine article dated July 23, 2020.
But that doesn't take into consideration the inevitable tax increase that will be prompted by the current national debt situation. So the potential for tax savings is actually higher. A lot depends on where your income comes from in retirement.
So then, is it possible to protect your income from higher taxes, especially in retirement? Yes, it is. In order to do that, proactive tax planning is the key. In this webinar, we will be detailing some key areas where Akamai Finance Planning can not only protect your future retirement income from higher taxes, but reduce your tax liability now.
And as a bonus, you will learn the only finance strategy that allows you to earn interest on the money you do pay for your income tax.
And by the way, if you're watching this webinar and you're not from Hawaii, Akamai is a Hawaiian word that means smart or shrewd. So who are we and why are we qualified to teach this? Well, my name is Stan Cox. I'm founder and principal broker and strategist with SC Finance Strategies and Insurance Consultants, and author of the books Tax-Free Cash Growth Warehouse, The 178-Year-Old Secret, and Tax-Free Cash Growth Warehouse, Nuts and Bolts, Infinite Banking in Action.
My name is Amanda Cox, and I'm a senior strategist with SC Finance Strategies and Insurance Consultants. And we are the founders of and principal educators with Hawaii Financial Freethinkers Academy, a nonprofit financial education organization.
Prior to my entering the finance industry, I was a self-employed fine art photographer. During that time, I was fully engaged in and passionate about doing my art. And I also actually enjoyed the marketing aspect of business as well. So being totally immersed and occupied, I just didn't give attention to retirement planning. It just wasn't a priority for me. When the digital revolution caught up to me, boy, was that an eye-opener. I got recruited into the finance industry, and realities that I had not previously concerned myself with took on a much greater importance. Like, what about retirement? Now what am I going to do? Well, I've always enjoyed learning, doing research, and discovering new ways of doing things. So I made it a personal project to learn the most efficient and effective ways to build for retirement. Of course, we've implemented the best practices and strategies that I've learned and become expert in, and we have benefited greatly by doing so. I've also always enjoyed sharing and teaching others what I know. So, creating the Hawaii Financial Freethinkers Academy was a natural outcome of my endeavors.
Now, let's get to the business of how you can protect your income from high taxes.
In a perfect world,
imagine you are building a retirement fund that is guaranteed to grow and never lose money. The growth is not only guaranteed, but you will never have to pay taxes on the growth. The growth of your fund will never be less than 4% APR, but maybe considerably more, and usually is. There are no money management fees and no penalties for early access.
that means that you can access and leverage the money in your account anytime for any reason with no taxes and no fees. And imagine, all the while you're leveraging your account, it continues to grow without interruption.
That also means that you can virtually multiply the power of your money, because while it's growing at a high rate of compounding interest, you're able to leverage it to finance purchases or other investments.
And guess what? You can also use this amazing account as a supplemental retirement income, and yes, with no taxes, no penalties or fees. Do you like the way it sounds? Well, this is not a perfect world. The account that we just described does exist. So what is this account with all those amazing attributes? We call it the tax-free cash growth warehouse. What it is a specially designed, high cash value, whole life insurance account with a mutual company, along with a hybrid finance strategy. The design of the account is critical, as is the company that provides the account and the options for the design.
And it's the strategy that is the secret sauce that makes it work.
The tax-free cash growth warehouse, or TFCGW strategy, is based on a concept known as infinite banking and integrates cash flow principles and the personal sweep account. Now I realize you probably aren't familiar with the infinite banking concept. Although the basis of the concept has been in use for nearly 200 years, it is dependent upon the attributes of participating whole life insurance, because participating whole life accounts participate in the profits of the providing company by means of dividends, which offers a great upside potential. But regardless of the dividends, the minimum 4% compounding interest is guaranteed.
Also, because of the status of the accounts, they receive the greatest advantage in the IRS tax code. That is, the cash growth is exempt from income tax. And also, with the right account design, you can leverage the cash value for other things without restrictions or penalties and without ever interrupting its compounding growth.
You see, qualified retirement plans dictate when you can and when you have to take distributions, or you get hit hard with penalties. And of course, any money in those accounts that have been tax deferred will be taxed upon distribution and at the current tax rates at the time of distribution. And as we've already discussed, those future tax rates are guaranteed to be higher than they are now, and probably a lot higher.
Also, the vast majority of qualified retirement accounts are subject to the risk of loss of value because they're tied to the stock market.
If you currently have a 401k, 403b, TSP, IRA, or other investment account, you likely know all too well exactly what we're talking about here with reference to risk of loss. But we're not going to dwell on that here.
Now, you may be thinking, but life insurance? Whole life insurance is expensive, but I've been told it's a bad investment.
You know, I'm here to tell you, yes, whole life insurance. As we said earlier, the design and the provider are critical to this whole strategy. And we're here to help and guide you with this.
And it's true that standard whole life insurance is typically more expensive than term insurance, but it also is a lot more valuable.
And insurance is not the point of our discussion. We're talking about protecting your income from high and rising taxes. Again, the provider and the design of the account are critical to the success and value of the account and strategy. And these are the things that are my expertise. Remember, when you build up your cash value in your TFCGW account, you will be able to use it for supplemental retirement income that will not be taxed.
And you never have to worry about taking a loss in your savings because the stock market takes another dump.
Yeah. In the meantime, your money will be growing for you, guaranteed, at a high compounding interest along with dividends. And you don't even report this growth on any tax forms. It's exempt. So, as you build your savings account and it's growing with that high compounding dividend interest, it is not adding to your tax liability now. And you can use it for tax-free income in retirement. Meanwhile, as you're building your TFCGW savings, you can be using that money to finance other things, such as furnishings for your home, equipment for a business, or automobiles.
Or vacations, anything, even investments.
For example, as many of my clients do, you may want to invest in an income property. You can leverage your TFCGW account for the down payment. Some like to play the stock market. You can leverage your TFCGW account to buy when the market is down and then sell when the market goes back up. And remember, when you leverage your account for these things, the cash value in your TFCGW account is still earning the compounding dividend interest for you. There is one more thing. You do have to qualify for an account. And you may be thinking, I can't qualify for life insurance because of my health. That may be the case. And if so, there is a workaround.
And if you have a relative who's in good health, and especially one who is younger than you, they will likely qualify and we can make them the insured, while you are the owner of the account. And for taking advantage of all the benefits of this strategy, you only need to be the owner, not the insured.
So, in fact, it doesn't even have to be a blood relative. If you have a business partner or a fiance that can qualify, you're good to go. Now, What's so special about what we offer? Well, here's the strangest thing that I've found as I navigated through my journey of discovery about this incredible secret finance strategy. Hardly anyone, including those in the finance industry, even know about infinite banking, let alone how to properly design an account for maximum advantage of the strategy, and that's critical. Well, it's not a complete mystery why agents aren't interested in learning and teaching infinite banking. The truth is, insurance is a commission-based business, and accounts designed for infinite banking pay only about 20% of what other more commonly sold accounts do. So, to be an infinite banking specialist means giving up around 75% or more of the income that you could make by selling the high commission products. Even those few high integrity agents who do work in the infinite banking arena apparently haven't discovered or thought about how to combine and integrate some of the other finance strategies that seem to be custom made for amplifying the power of the infinite banking concept.
Such as the personal sweep account strategy, which of course integrates perfectly with other cash flow strategies, such as the snowball strategy, to supercharge the debt vanquishing power of the sweep strategy.
When I discovered the almost magical effects of combining these strategies, I had to give this new creation a new name, and that's when the tax-free cash growth warehouse strategy was born. Now, nobody else knows this, so nobody else is teaching it. So here's the deal. Reducing your current tax liability by establishing a tax-free cash growth warehouse account where your money will grow tax-free, and utilizing the TFCGW strategy will multiply the value and power of your money without incurring tax liability now.
And then activating the tax-free retirement income strategy with your account in retirement will protect your income from high and rising taxes in retirement.
Now, obviously, we can't cover all the details in a half-hour webinar. And if we did go into all the details in a much longer webinar, well, there's just too much to retain. The good news is, I wrote the books on this amazing strategy, and you can get your copies on Amazon.com for just $15.95 each.
And here's some even better news. While we are super busy helping our existing clients, and with our teaching programs through the Hawaii Financial Freethinkers Academy, we are making room for a few more new clients who have taken the action and initiative to watch this webinar.
Now here's what you need to do. Click the link in the description box below and watch our TFCGW webinar, How to Become Master of Your Financial World. It's 62 minutes. At the end of that webinar, you'll be directed to where you can fill out an application to become our client. When you do that, we will contact you for an initial consultation. Now think about this.
In just a short while from now, you could have your tax-free cash growth warehouse growing money for you tax-free.
You could be earning upwards of 6% and more on the money that you pay to the IRS, and even taking additional tax exemptions through the use of the TFCGW strategy and by taking advantage of some of the other tax reducing tips that we help our clients with.
You could be building a safe, guaranteed cash reserve for use in your golden years as tax-free retirement income. And in the meanwhile, you could be leveraging that money as it continues to grow for you to multiply the power of your income, tax-free and without penalties.
Listen, we have our small independent agency, SC Finance Strategies and Insurance Consultants, but we work with a large team of experts all over the country. Our specialty is the TFCGW account design and strategy. But our team consists of experts in every area of finance.
When you become our client, you will have access to the wealth of knowledge and expertise of all those professionals.
As we said, we're very busy as it is, but we are motivated to help as many people as we can with this TFCGW strategy.
It's too good not to share, and it's a darn shame that there aren't a whole lot of people teaching and using this strategy for their advantage.
So we're going to make this opportunity even richer for you if, after you watch our TFCGW webinar and you submit the application to become our client and we agree to work with you, I will provide a comprehensive cash flow analysis for you absolutely free.
This is a $499 value, free to you.
I will create an illustration of a custom designed TFCGW account specifically for you. Again, free of charge.
That's another $100 value.
And when you become our client, we will give you absolutely free electronic copies of my TFCGW books.
That's another $32 value.
As part of our service to our clients, we make ourselves available to answer questions and coach you as you get going with your personal tax-free cash growth warehouse and strategy.
We aren't the type to just get you started, then disappear and let you tread the unknown waters by yourself in the cold.
No, if we accept you as our client, you will have our entire team behind you to help you gain the maximum advantage of the beautiful attributes of the TFCGW strategy and protect your income from high and rising taxes.
As a reminder, we're only able to take on a few more clients. As much as we'd like to help everyone, there are only so many hours in the day.
And, we're only human after all. So, don't put it off. You've come this far. Take the next step and watch the TFCGW webinar at the link below. Complete the application to become our client and submit it. We'll take it from there.
We're here for you, and we look forward to talking with you soon.
Aloha and mahalo for watching.